I finally made the decision to leave my high school sweetheart and family, and I'm broken more than ever. I've been deeply and madly in love with this man for 13 years. The past 2 years have been hell. My marriage, my health, everything has been destroyed. After having my second baby, my health, both mentally and physically, has declined so much. My panic attacks are so violent. My HR shoots up to 180-190. I have trouble breathing every day because of my anxiety. I've tried therapy, and I've tried everything to get better. My husband is an amazing father, and he's an amazing husband, but our physical connection is done. We are basically roommates. No sex in almost a year. I gave birth on February 11th. We do our own thing most of the day. We barely talk. But when I need him, he's there and never says no to me. Other than that, we barely talk and have no physical contact either. I feel so lonely with him and so unloved. Please don't judge me, but I've been carefully making living arrangements in another country for a couple months now, and have booked a one-way ticket. I'm leaving in 2 weeks without telling anyone. I found a job there already with my nursing contract. I'm terrified to leave my babies behind. I don't know what the consequences are, but I'm leaving this life behind and starting a new one, without telling anyone where I am. I'm sure my husband doesn't need me. He's fully capable of taking care of the kids, and I trust him. I'm just so sick of this life and feel like I will harm myself if I live with this man any longer. I'm completely disappearing, and hopefully I don't look back. I've been crying every night with this decision, and I'm absolutely terrified of starting from scratch in a country I've never even been to, leaving everything I own behind, especially my innocent babies. My babies deserve a better mom, and my husband deserves a better life. I'm a horrible person, and I hate myself for even existing. Please, please, please see a doctor and ask to be evaluated for postpartum depression before making any final decisions. Those poor babies. You can't just abandon your children. They need their mother. Please get help. This is sick. My kids have an amazing dad and both sets of grandparents. My husband will probably get a full-time nanny once this happens. A huge home, all the most luxurious in the world. The last thing they need is a sick and depressed mother whose only good deed was to give birth. I'm a disgusting human being, and raising them will just make me guiltier for staying. It doesn't matter. No one can replace their mother. What you are doing is selfish, and you are not thinking about them. This will traumatize them. How will it traumatize them if they don't ever grow up to know who I was? Right now they're too young, 2 and 2 months, but eventually my family will just say I passed away to them, and they'll move on from that. I know many friends whose parents passed away early in life, and they are completely fine and thriving now. It sounds like you could actually be depressed. Not judging. Depression is a real thing. Can you see a therapist before you make this decision? Would you let your family know you are okay once you are settled? If my spouse did this, I would think something horrible and tragic happened to them. If my husband doesn't even love me, why would he care what happened to me? It's better he thinks I died. This is depression talking. It's depressing. But I've already sought so much help. It was one of my therapist's ideas to try to leave all this all behind. I'm so alone and have nowhere to go for help. This is why I chose to complete my nursing contract in a different country and never return. But you realize this is not normal, right? That disappearing to another country and abandoning your family is not something mentally healthy people do. Plenty of marriages go a lot longer than a year without sex and recover. Hell, some of us have medical issues that prevent sex entirely. Did your husband specifically tell you he was no longer in love with you? From what you are describing, it does not sound like your husband does not love you. You stated he is a good husband, a good dad, and supportive. Sex ebbs and flows. You guys are not newlyweds, and having kids really affects the sexy time. The sex is fixable if that's the only actual issue. It sounds like you may be struggling with your ability to accept his form of love for you. Maybe your husband is also struggling in this rut. It sounds like you both are. This truly sounds like depression. Depression is an evil monster that will lie to your face and try to destroy the good things in your life. Now, I don't know your whole marriage story, but I think your family is worth talking to a professional about. You can always leave if that's what you still want to do after ruling out depression. Please, please read this. What you're feeling, The way you're seeing things, all of this is your depression talking. It's not reality. Please go to the doctor. Don't make that decision. Your husband will be devastated, and your babies too. They need you, they love you, and you are all they want and need. You are loved. You are worthy of love. You are an amazing mother and a wife who is deeply loved. Don't make a decision that, in the future, could cost you your husband and children forever. For you and them, talk to a doctor and don't make that decision. You need immediate medical attention. It would be cruel to abandon your children using this method. It is not right. Please seek help before you make a drastic, irreversible decision. Don't leave your babies. They need you. I went through postpartum so badly, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel, especially when you are ready to give up. I was there, and I didn't give up on my family. I'm in a much better place, but it took some years. It may be a temporary escape, but in the long run, you are making a decision that will permanently affect you and your children. I truly hope you rethink this escape.